What is the meaning of life? What happens after death? Is there a god? These are some of life's greatest questions that us humans may never know the answers to. But I've come to discover the actual greatest question humanity's ever thought of. Is Song Jing-woo the actual greatest aura farmer in history? For generations, the big three of aura farming were Sasuke Uchiha, Killua Zoldyck, and the all-time champion, Piccolo. Bro just stands around non-stop in insane aura farming spots, not moving. Like, yes, Piccolo, we see the fit. But today, a new challenger is approaching, Song Jing-woo. After the release of Season 1 and Season 2 currently airing, humanity's greatest philosophers have come together to discuss this man's aura. So, in today's video, I'll be going through the entire show and ranking every Drip Woo aura moment, episode to episode. So with all that out of the way, make sure to like and subscribe as it helps a lot. Check my Discord in the description below, and let's hop into the video. Now, starting off fairly simple, we have in episode 1 when the double dungeon was first shown. They decided to take a vote on whether they should go into the dungeon or not. It's a perfect split with 6 yeses and 6 nos. It's up to Jing-woo to be the deciding vote. You realize this, even though he's the weakest hunter in history, someone gotta pay for his mother's bills and send his sister through college. So even being weaker than a goblin, bro decided to put his family needs first. Now, we obviously have way crazier shit later in the video, but bro still has a good aura bump here. It's the equivalent of the bravery the Nugget cast had to have to go up against like Monarch or Sukuna in the all-out wars. Like, you gotta give him some credit. Episode 2, Jing-woo was an actual demon. They're dealing with quite possibly the scariest threat I have ever witnessed in all of fiction. And even with this intense fear, he somehow perfectly is cooking up strats to deal with all 3 commandments. The one that was the most insane was the instrument one. The commandment said, praise God. And somehow while having this thing chase after him, plus witnessing people getting killed, screaming, he somehow figures out you need to stand under the statues with instruments. Huh? Okay, you the viewer, yes you, or any of you guys in this scenario figuring this out. If anyone said yes, you're lying. This was definitely a great aura farming moment for my goat. Honestly, at this rate, bro would solo the Death Note verse. And then the iconic ending of episode 2, Rizwu flirts with the baddie before nobly sacrificing himself so everyone can escape safely. Sacrificing yourself to look good in front of the host is definitely a decent aura bump, but after rewatching this clip, I noticed something he doesn't get enough credit for. When all these like Titan things are attacking him, he's somehow surviving this onslaught for a decent amount of time, having massive weapons pierce him, extreme blood loss, limb loss, and being dropped from this height and still not dying. Overall, this is a good aura bump for our goat. And don't worry, now that he's become a player in the actual game, we'll be getting to the good shit soon enough. In episode 4, a new mob comes busting through the walls, a wolf. It instantly smashes his dagger into pieces and he now has no weapon. What would most sane people do in this situation against a steroided up metal wolf? A, run away. B, run away. C, run away. Or D, run away. The correct answer is actually E, smashing the wolf in the face with the meanest right hook in history. Huh? Bro, Jing-woo is not saying. This is definitely a crazy moment that had my jaw dropped on first watch. Literally moments later after that, he decapitates another one and makes the mob run away. I don't think I've ever seen a mob in this show just run away. Bro felt the aura radiating off Goat-woo and did not want the smoke. At the end of episode 4, we see Jing-woo fighting his first ever dungeon boss. Oh, unfortunately, the snake skin's too hard for him to pierce with the sword. He's getting thrashed down and it's not looking good. Bro throws the sword away. I put all my points into strength, so let's fucking put it to the test. And I kid you not, grabs the snake by the throat and just starts crushing it. One of the rawest kills I have ever seen. This is definitely a massive boost for Drip Woo. Within the span of 3 episodes, he goes from struggling with default goblins to crushing a 100+ foot snake's throat with his bare hands. That shit's raw as fuck. He then wanders out of the dungeon to see swarms of low-ranked hunters struggling with this golem that escaped into the streets. The armor is too thick for anyone to do any actual damage. Jing-woo takes his completely broken sword and pegs it at the monster at Mach 6 with enough force to give the Nuggets the opening they needed to win. They turn around trying to figure out who threw the dagger, but my boy already disappeared into the wind. Bro actually thinks he's Batman. The girl Jing-woo rizzed up in episode 2 turned around being like, Jing-woo. Bro has so much aura now the baddies can just smell it. Speaking of the baddies, we are now cutting through episode 5. Oh my gosh, did you see him? Doesn't he have the hottest body? Oh yeah. He sure does. The nurse walks in on Jingwoo's glistening body and is just an absolute awe. As Jingwoo was leaving, she couldn't contain herself and literally begged my goat for his phone number for just a small chance of getting a sniff of that schmeat. Most of us guys have to try a decent bit to get a girl's number, but Rizwu has girls lining up begging for his number. This is definitely a top tier aura moment. And then finally, right after the last moment, he goes back home and we have quite possibly the greatest aura farming moment in all of fiction. His sister asks him, "Have you gotten taller?" Do you guys not understand how generational this is? Let me break this down for people who are not quite good at understanding. He grew taller. Ow! Dude, listen, as a 5'7" man, 5'8" on a good day, do y'all not understand how generational this was? If I could magically grow 4 to 5 inches like Goku, I would be drowning in poon. I don't want to hear any argument against my claim. This is one of, if not the greatest aura move in history. At the end of episode 5, we realize the hunters betrayed Jingwoo and this nugget to die to the spider boss. This is the first time we have to see Jingwoo face such a powerful foe, a C-rank dungeon boss. He tells the nugget to move out of the way because he will fight it and he will win. Does this not remind everyone of another certain absolute Giga Chad? Nah, I'd win. Peak copies peak, what can I say? This is a small moment, but I thought I'd still include it because it's still fun. When he's fighting the spider, he uses this new ability, Dash. I don't know what it is, but whenever a character uses any type of super speed blitzing type move, it always gives me chills. It always just gives me Giga Chad Zenitsu vibes, bro. And then finally, the moment you guys were all waiting for, the final scene of episode 6. This is the moment in the show where I was really like, this show is just something special. When the 6 nuggets decided to attack Jingwoo, I was worried. Not because I thought there were any real danger to him, but because I realized this is a turning point in the show. A lot of main characters in anime are pure of heart and won't kill people if push comes to shove, and I was scared they would ruin Jingwoo by making him beta as fuck. But, well, we all know how it turned out.
You hunt and hunt. So now I want to know if the hunters are ready to be preyed upon.
I mean, you're the weakest hunter of...
That's one down.
Oh my god! Then what follows is probably one of my most favorite moments in anime. Dark Aria, quite possibly one of the most beautiful, glorious soundtracks starts playing. This soundtrack by itself adds infinite aura to any scene that's been played in. And adding that on top of Jingwoo slaughtering them all cold-faced like dogs, it's just peak anime. There's only one guy left. He powers up as if he even has the slightest chance of winning, and Jingwoo just charges in.
You're impressive. But I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. You see, I've been leveling up this whole time.
My goat! And then quite possibly one of my favorite moments, dude's begging for his life, saying he will give Jingwoo double any price he names him. He says 3 times. At this moment, I was like, no, Jingwoo, don't worry about money, dog. Just kill this monkey. I don't know why I was so worried. My goat would never let me down like that.
3 times. You tried to kill me 3 times, didn't you? And now you want mercy.
Dude, he's so cold. Oh, Jingwoo's aura after the scene became infinite. I swear to God, I was so glad after the scene to realize my goat isn't a typical shonen beta main character, but just an actual menace to society. After that absolute peak, we cut to episode 9. It's quite tragic, but yeah, nothing really happens from episode 7 or 8. I mean, he kills Cerberus, but like, it wasn't really much of an aura moment as it was him hanging on to life for dear God. We cut to Jingwoo in this random dungeon with... Huh? Am I hearing this correctly? Is he in a dungeon with Itoshi Rin? Rin tries to speed blitz him from behind, and once again, our glorious king has to show everyone why he's the main character. Bro somehow flicks backwards and catches his hand, saving his baby girl. And then what he does next brings a tear to my eye. Jingwoo starts doing the legendary Goku warm-up. Like I said before, peak mimics peak man, and there's just no explanation to it. I think Solo Leveling added this scene to honor legendary mangaka Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, because around this time is when he died in real life. After warming up, he activates Dash again and absolutely speed blitzes Rin and slashes him across the face. A few minutes later, Jingwoo's like, alright, time to send Rin back home crying a sigh. Rin goes invisible to attack, and oh my god, my yo isn't phased at all, bro. Literally locked in, not moving a single inch from his spot, fully countering every attack Rin throws at him. And if that isn't cool enough, his power is so extreme he starts stealing moves from other anime verses. Bro hits the fucking Yoich Tenkai and absolutely obliterates and destroys Ren. Next up is episode 10. This is more of a chill episode where we get to see a montage of Jingwoo farming the C-rank dungeons for freelo. I was carefully watching these scenes to do my due diligence as a content creator and making sure I caught every single Jingwoo aura moment, and I found some funny scenes. Dude's fighting these goblins with his hand in his pocket. Nah. If I've ever scrapped into someone and they have their hands in their pocket, like, bro, I'm just leaving. I ain't built for this. Bro's out here fully drop kicking massive snakes. Literally has these werewolf monsters cowering in absolute fear because they can sense Shinwoo is about to bring their existence to an extremely abrupt end. I don't know. It was just a funny episode overall. And then finally, we cut to one of the craziest fights in all of recent anime: Jingwoo versus Igris. Now, truthfully, this fight is more of an aura boost towards Igris than Jingwoo. Now, there is one cool part I'd like to mention.
Let's throw hands.
I don't know. Something about this has just so much aura flowing off it. We won't talk about what happens after because we cut to Jingwoo getting slapped towards the throne, and Igris grabs his sword, getting ready to end him. He slams it down, and
I haven't lost yet!
he fucking caught his massive gut sword with one fucking hand. My God! He grabs the blade. I'm not finished yet. Throws Igris against the wall and once again summons the power of JJK, hitting a fucking blade flash on Igris to end the fight. So right now Jingwoo has Black Flash and Domain Expansion in his arsenal. Alright, why not? This final hit to end the fight was one of the rawest, coldest finishers I've ever been blessed to watch, bro. Just straight up. And then finally reaching episode 12, Jingwoo accepts the job change and becomes a necromancer. But wait, bro got so much XP from the whole thing, he already has enough points to ascend from necromancer to the Shadow Monarch. This title is actually so tough. Then we finally get to see the legendary moment everyone was waiting for.
Okiro.
If his shadow army wasn't cool enough already, he looks over towards Igris and makes his way over. He only gets 3 attempts to extract a shadow. After his first 2 attempts, he starts giving his Giga speech to Igris. Knight Commander Igris, you are a warrior. Cutting down foes with that sword should be your purpose in life. Do you really intend to let it rust in this dark, decrepit place? If you need someone to whom you can dedicate your sword, serve me. Instead of defending the throne of one long gone, defend the man who stands before you.
Arise.
And with that, our glorious king is no longer solo leveling, but leveling up with the Shadow Army and go Igris at his side. And yeah, do I even need to comment on how hard this goes? But yeah, that's the video. I will do a part 2 when season 2 finishes in a few months. Don't worry, don't worry. I know what you're here for. Now, truth is, I will do a part 2 when the season ends, but I will still review some insane aura moments from the first 2 episodes of season 2 as a little treat. Literally off the rip, Drip Woo goes to his sister's school to meet with her teachers and just look, bro, he's dripped out head to toe. Every single baddie in the school is feeding for him, me included. After the scene, you can just tell Jingwoo in season 2 has officially graduated to professional aura farmer. We cut to the scene of them about to enter the gate, and this random worker says to Jingwoo, whilst fully knowing there are multiple B ranks and an A rank, try to limit your participation to give everyone else some practice. I don't know why, that's just so funny to me. Bro just knows if Jingwoo tries at all, he could farm the dungeon. They enter, and before anyone has any time to think, arrows come flying in, targeting the weakest members. Right when it looks like she's dead, the camera pans out to show our glorious king catching the arrow with one hand. Dude, the way he just exists is so tough. Jingwoo just glares at the elves and they dip. They do not want the smoke. This random girl goes up to Jingwoo asking to join his group to survive the dungeon. She just starts glazing him. Mr. Kim didn't even notice the arrows. You are an E rank, are you? Like I said before, the baddies can just smell the aura coming off this man. It's immense. After splitting up, some massive ice bears come to attack Jingwoo and his squad. They start freaking out and Jingwoo puts his hand up like, all of you better duck, because I'm about to turn left and I don't want to smack you with my dick. Bonus points for anyone in the comments who can tell me where that quote comes from. Then it just cuts to a shot of everyone watching in awe as Jingwoo crushes its skull with one punch. We cut to Jingwoo finding the main bear cave, and y'all just gotta listen to this voice line when he's summoning his army. Dude, the way he talks is just so tough. After his shadow army slaughters all the bears, the big boss bear comes out to fight. Igris walks up to the plate. And listen, now that Igris is part of Jingwoo's shadow army, any Igris aura moment also counts towards Jingwoo. And y'all, I'm not exaggerating by saying this is literally Levi versus the Beast Titan V2. This was an absolute wash for Go Igris. Finally, we're cutting to episode 2 of season 2. Quite possibly the episode with the most amount of just raw aura farming moments I have ever seen in just one episode. So make sure to keep count of how many we have. Hunter Kim comes back after having his cheeks spread by the ice elves and starts full skittering out, seeing them enjoy themselves in warm clothes with lots of food. He brings out his sword filled with rage and about to try to kill everyone there. And right before he's about to get to them, fucking shitter. Dude, this scene had me dying of laughter so hard the first time I watched it. Like, little bro, who do you think you are? Definitely one of the funniest scenes in the entire show. Also, try to keep in mind, this is an A-rank hunter. He's extremely strong, and he just pushed him away. Okay. Right after the scene, the ice elves pull up on Jingwoo and start yapping at him. Jingwoo starts yapping back. Fairly normal scene, right? Wrong. To normal people, this is what it sounds like. You actually understand our language? Bro didn't even realize you could speak their language. How much aura would you get if aliens showed up to Earth and you just start shit-talking them in alienese? The boss starts yapping about how one of his minions found a strong person and he wants to fight him. And, well, we all kind of know how this one ended up. Bro hit him with the... And... Oh my god. Dude, the way he's talking at this point, the system must have at least tripled its length, if you know what I'm talking about. And then not even 1 minute later, we have another generational aura moment. Bro starts saying, "Are you sure about fighting us?" Because as you can see, the numbers are on our side. Dude, Jingwoo was just waiting for someone to say that. Bro hits the sexy smirk pose and says, "You sure about that, little bro?" I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point, but my go! And look at the little smile after. Bro knows he's aura incarnate at this point. The fight starts and his Nugget teammates run away because they just realized they straight up ain't built for this. The ice elves pull back their bows, and I mean, bro, just watch. Like, do I even need to say anything at this point? He's just so raw with it. Eventually, after fighting the boss for a while, the A-rank hunter that he utterly embarrassed earlier wakes up screaming his name, charging him down, saying he'll kill him. I just found it so funny that he glanced at him and just looked away. Basically like, yeah, this guy is just a non-threat. But listen, an A-rank is still an A-rank at the end of the day. So what does he do, you ask? Oh, just slaughters him without any second thought and makes him an immortal slave to his army. Alright, why not? They keep scrapping and eventually Jingwoo lands a mean slash to the stomach, disclaiming that this fight is over. Barker starts screaming at Jingwoo saying, "It's over when I say it's over." And y'all, I'm gonna level you with you real quick. This moment right here is why I wanted to make this video. Iron gets ready to smash him and here's Jingwoo, hands in his pocket, fading away into the wind. Like, dog, this was beyond unnecessary. You could have jumped backwards, walked away, done literally anything normal, but you decided to just fade away, back turned, hands in the pockets. Like, bro, why are you even turning invisible? There's no enemies left. This was just for pure aura. He didn't need to do this at all. When I first saw the scene, it had me so dead. And then after beating the boss, they are finally able to walk out the gate home free. Well, almost home free. This S-rank hunter grabs Jingwoo, saying that he needs to answer some questions, and he's not really asking, he's telling. Jingwoo turns around and says, "It's because of me that there are even some survivors in the first place, so it falls to you to show me some proper gratitude." Oh, dude, look at these eyes, bro. He means nothing but business. Talking to one of the strongest hunters in the world like he's his bitch. Insane. And then finally, our last aura moment. Quite possibly the most insane moments I've ever witnessed on a lot of anime. My jaw dropped and I was dying laughing watching the scene. His minion realizes this random girl seems to be a bit too flirty around to my goat, and he says, yeah, no questions asked. Jingwoo is the aura monarch at this point. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to make sure you get notified when part 2 comes out for this video. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.